Hello and welcome to episode 48 of Aravaipa Trail Talk. I'm Jam.
I'm Jubes.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome, greetings. We are actually UTMB is going on right now, so we might, if we're looking off to the side of the camera here, we're probably just watching the live feed because it's really intense. There's a lot of Americans up in the mix. It's really exciting stuff. I know you guys are probably tuning into it as well. We wanted to give you guys a quick update this week. Aravaipa Trail Talk, of course, is our own show for Aravaipa Running. We are talking all things trail running. We're taking your questions live. We are live on Instagram and Facebook every edition of the show. And of course, you can catch this on YouTube, filmed, delayed, etc. As well.
Great.
How you doing this week?
Great. What's up, Jam? How you doing?
Great. I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but that is to be expected. We just opened a restaurant in downtown Phoenix, Freak Brothers Pizza.
Boom.
If you guys have been to our races, you probably know about Freak Brothers. If you have had it and dig it, show us some love. Go like us on Instagram and Facebook and stop in next time you're in Phoenix traveling through. We're really right in the center of it all, so check it out. We'll also still be out and about at the races, that's for sure. We've got some exciting stuff this week. Do you want to tell the people what's up with the Flagstaff race?
Yes, people. Do you want to know what's up with the Flagstaff sky peaks and things? We finally got approval with all of the land management agencies, whatever, and we can go ahead with the 2018 Flagstaff Sky Peaks. Yay! We did it! We have a month to go, so this is going to be like...
I think it's technically 5 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was doing the math. Is that right?
Was it 5 weeks?
Because tomorrow is the 1st of August, which will be Saturday, 1st of September, which is Saturday.
September, yeah.
So then you got the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, the 28th, and then the 6th. So we have 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
That's not so bad.
Okay, well...
Registration will be open for 4 weeks.
For 4 weeks. But we did open registration yesterday, and then we updated all of the websites. We're going to get this going, and we actually have brand new courses for 2018.
Oh, so pumped.
They're so amazing, and the 50 mile is like the crown jewel. So fun, and it actually circumnavigates all of the San Francisco peaks. So check it out. Go to our website. All the maps are there.
This really reminds me of...
It's going to be so pretty.
It reminds me of kind of what we did with this event. We can get more into the history here in a second, but It reminds me a lot of Whiskey Basin. And I think, 2 to 3 years from now, I think could be as big as Whiskey.
Cool.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would love it to be.
I think it's more of a classic race now. There's quite a few dirt roads. We're still working on the concept, but we'll get into that here in a second.
It's a great introduction, though. Like, this course currently is really going to be something
pretty cool,
pretty spectacular.
It's pretty unique. We wanted to create something that I think fit our style a little bit better and offered something for everyone. We felt like previously with the Sky Race course the last couple of years, it was lacking a little bit. It was kind of contrived and a little bit too much nasty terrain, I think, at the end. That I wasn't super stoked on. There wasn't a lot to do.
There were certain parameters around creating those courses that we kind of just were tied to. So every year it was just kind of, it was not necessarily what we wanted. So we have all the freedom, really, with this one. So it's going to be really fun.
Should we start? I don't know, where should we start? What interests you about talking about this race?
I mean, the 50 mile course is going to be my favorite, I think, only because it stretches all the way around Humphreys. If you guys are familiar with Flagstaff at all, it's actually going to start at Arizona Snowbowl Ski Resort, but we're going to use parts of the Arizona Trail, which is brand new to this event, and it's going to go on the north side of Humphreys and all the way around. We're going to go up into the Inner Basin, which is so pretty during that time of year. It's going to be the first weekend of October October, and that's when all the leaves change. So you guys get like this amazing view and kind of like tour of all of the fall colors. More so, I think, than like if you would just go up there and like go to just drive around, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're going to
Yeah.
be hitting aspen groves all over the
all over the
course,
place. Like
and-
the AZTs, like you're going to be under canopies of color, and then all the way up to the inner basin, and then down the water line is just going to be, just unbelievable. It's going to be so pretty.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I wish I could run this race.
I know.
this
I'm
year.
actually like, why?
Why do we organize all these?
I don't
Why
know.
can't we
I want to
run
run it. So
it's gonna be really
I'm excited
exciting.
to course market.
Flagstaff has been really interesting for us. The history with Aravaipa and Flagstaff is a long one, and we first put on a fat ass run in 2010 that was just a 50K, and we've been working on permitting and trying to get something really unique and amazing going there for 9 years now. You all right?
Yeah.
And
Wrong pipe.
yeah, we eventually got a permitted race called the Flagstaff Endurance Runs. It started at Buffalo Park, did a nice little tour of Mount Eldon area, and we were able to have that for a couple years. It was never very big. Your face is really red.
I know.
You
Yeah.
need a little break?
No, I'm breathing.
Okay,
I'm all right.
good. And so, we only had about maybe 60, 70 people total for those events. Never really gained much traction. Then we added to the US Skyrunner series in 2014. We did that 2014, 15, 16, 17. So 4 years, created some point-to-point courses, went up to Arizona Snowbowl. But again, we offered, basically there was 3 distances. There was a 39K, 55K, and a VK. And it just, we got up to about 200 runners this last year. And but it just there wasn't enough variance, I felt like, to really draw everyone in and to really offer something for everyone. Yeah. And also, I always missed when we got rid of the 50-mile option. It seemed like it left me wanting a little bit more.
And I mean, even the 39K and 55K,
they're almost the same
in the past
distance.
year, they were really, they just overlapped. So you just kind of got a little bit more with the 55K.
And it was a contrived course, too, where it was like the 55K just did a double lap on Eldon, which I love Eldon, but no one really wants to do a double lap on Eldon, I don't think. So, but anyways, so this kind of, we're no longer part of the Skyrunner series, and that kind of opened up some opportunities and doors for us to re-look at the race and the courses. And I noticed that there was some single-track trails on the north side of the peaks.
Yeah.
That was from this old map that I found. No one knew anything about these trails, if they even existed. I talked to all these runners up there. They're like, no, there's nothing up there. Went out and scoped it, and lo and behold, there are trails up there.
Yeah.
There's single-track trails that stay outside of wilderness that are on the north side of the peaks, and I went up there with Alicia Vargo, scouting them out, and they're just awesome. We tried to get those permitted. We weren't really able to get them permitted
There were some sections. I scouted a whole section that's not going to be on the course. Because, they lie outside of what's permitted by the Forest Service. So,
it's not a system trail.
It's not a system
yet,
trail.
anyway.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, we have to use a connection of Forest Service roads in between the single track. So there's going to be quite a bit of forest road on the 50-mile course, which I think is actually kind of cool. It'll mean that it'll be pretty fast.
Yeah, it's going to be fast, and it's still like great views in the northern side of Humphreys.
And there is some still steep and technical sections, so it kind of gives you a nice break in between.
There's a good like little boop on that road for sure.
But kind of ultimately where this left us is that we really want this race to serve a higher purpose and to have a vision for creating a non-motorized single-track loop around the peaks that stays outside wilderness. So horseback, equestrian, mountain bike runners can all use this. We are dubbing it the Peaks Loop Trail. There's also the Flagstaff Loop Trail, and these would touch these, I think, or be very close anyways. So you could link together these 2 giant loops. One loops around the city of Flagstaff, this one loops around the San Francisco Peaks, and they can tie together. And we kind of want to be the catalyst behind something like this, where all of those trails that exist they're already there. They may need a little bit of work to get them up to par, up to the code with the Forest Service, but hopefully we can use the support of this race and maybe some mountain bike organizations and Flagstaff, other Flagstaff runners to tie all these together so that we can create that single track loop around the peaks that we want.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little bit about the vision of this race, where it's going in the future. And at the end of the day, we just wanted it to happen this year, even though it took so long to get approval. We just wanted to hold it. So if you guys are out there and thinking about joining us, like we said, check it out, flagstaffskyrace.com, or you go to our Aravaipa running website. You can see all the courses. They're all on there. You can check out and see if it's something you like to do. Consider joining us. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
And the last piece of the puzzle we were waiting on was Arizona Snowbowl, just because they have so much going on up there that time of year. They actually, where we used to stage our race out of, our finish line, it's now, there's a slide there and a jump out, like all kinds of summertime activities, so we can no longer use that staging. There's a wedding going on, so we were finally able to find a venue up there. So we're at the Humphreys Yurt.
Yeah.
Which, who even knew there were yurts up at Snowbowl, but there is, and we're using that.
We're going to use it.
So just a reminder, we'll take your guys' questions. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Flagstaff. I'd also like to ask you a little bit about Javelina here in a second, but please leave questions below for us, and we'll get to those here in just a second.
Yep.
They can be about this Flagstaff race. They can be about anything else that you'd like. We're here to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Anything else about Flagstaff right now? We cover it mostly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really stoked that it's just a variance of different courses. So, I mean, it's a little something for everybody.
We do have shorter distances. I don't know if we mentioned all that's available. So we even came up with some fun names for each distance. So we've got the whole event's called Flagstaff Sky Peaks, but we're calling the 50 mile the Ring the Sky 50 mile. And we've got the Aspen Dream 50K, which is a lot on the Arizona Trail through
it's gonna be really
Aspen
pretty.
Groves.
Yeah.
We've got the Quad Bomber 25K because you essentially climb to the top of the ski resort at 11,500.
Within like the first 2 miles.
2 miles, and then you bomb down 4,000 feet.
Yeah.
Before turning right around and climbing back up to the finish.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a fast and furious race. Pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Agassi Grinder 10K, which is probably one of the toughest 10Ks out there because you climb to the top of the mountain in the 10K.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty intense, but pretty awesome. Like a really awesome short mountain race that there isn't a lot of that, I think, in the area. Mm-hmm. And finally, we've got the 5K, which we did not take you to the top, so you can thank us now or thank us later. Or maybe you're upset. I don't know. Do the 10K if you want to go to the top. But it's the Humphrey Hump.
The Humphrey Hump.
5K.
I'll also go through like amazing Aspen nature loop at the resort, so it'll be really pretty.
Yeah. So let's talk about Javelina. Where are we at with that one? We have a price increase tonight, so if you're watching
this is actually the last day that you can get in at this price. And then tomorrow it raises for the last time before race week. So if you guys are thinking about Javelina, get in now. In the 100K, we have almost, 22 spots left, I think, in the 100K. So don't wait. And then in the 100 mile, there's just over, I think, 140 spots left. So it's really exciting. It'll be a good, fun, big event. And then in addition to this year, we actually have the Jackass Night Trails, which is a 31 or 62K loop. You can do one loop or two loops, and it's actually during the Javelina 100 at night at the peak time of the Jackass party.
So it's a shorter distance option.
It's a shorter distance option.
Javelina 100
yeah.
this
So
year.
if you've always wanted to run Javelina 100, but you're maybe not up to the 100K, 100 mile level yet, and you still want to experience all the fun and all the costumes and all the shenanigans of it, you can with one or two loops, and you basically can take your time with it. because it does not end until noon the next day.
Now I'm excited about that because I think it's going to bring some new energy to the race at night, having more races going off and starting when, the sun is kind of setting and, some 100-milers, it's already getting a little bit lighter of a field. Some people drop out. It just happens.
Yeah.
We don't wish it upon anyone, but I think it'll be fun to have some new blood out there, so to speak.
Totally.
It's going to be great. Yeah. So, you guys can check that out as well. It's called the Jackass Night Trail. Okay, enough promoting all of our stuff.
Okay, great.
No, that's kind of what this is all about. But
I mean, we talk about our own stuff.
So we're going to go, I think, to some questions now.
Yeah.
And we'll see what you guys got for us. Jubilee's going to jump over here on Facebook. I'm going to jump over here on Instagram. And we're just going to go through and see what you guys got for us this week.
People are watching UTMB.
Yeah, basically.
That's totally, 3 Americans in the top 4 at UTMB, right?
Yeah, that's super interesting. It's exciting to see kind of the back and forth.
It's been in the background all morning.
It was
and afternoon.
Jim out front early and then kind of getting swallowed back up by the pack. You've got Zach Miller now, I think, taking the lead. Mm-hmm. He is... Did you hear what he did leading up to the race this year?
No.
He works at bar camp on Pikes Peak. He was able to get enough people to cover him, so he went over there 1 month early. He did 4 complete laps on the course. So he just fast pack, ran around with stuff. So he did it 4 times in a row in probably the first 2.5 weeks he was there,
That's awesome.
Which would be 400 miles. So I think he's very familiar with what's going on now. Yeah. And he says he's never done that specific of training for the race. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty incredible. You, of course, have Killian in the mix there. He's been slaying it after coming back from his injury. He just set the course record at the Kima Trophy. He's in top form, and he looks like he's
hungry, yeah.
There was a video of him power walking. It was almost like a ski-mo move with the poles.
It was fluid,
and
man.
He was just kind of toying with Jim, just right behind him, just kind of goofing off. But he's serious, though. You can tell he's really focused this year. And then Tim Tollefson running aggressively this year. He's in 4th, and usually you would see him 10th, 12th, 15th right now, really taking it easy. But I heard in his previous interview, he had so much left in the tank the last 2 years. He wants to see what he can do this year. So that's really exciting to see that. Let's get to some questions.
Cool.
Jan, 1976, Freak Bros Pizza, maybe before Black Canyon. Heck yeah. Check it out. A lot of people in and out here. New Furry Kiss. What are you running from? Okay. I don't know if that's a serious question or not.
I don't know.
But I don't think I'm running from anything. Spartan, Ramon, and Ashley. How far in are pacers allowed for the Javelina 100? When can you start with the pacer?
I think it's actually after 2 laps. So it's basically at the 40-mile mark.
Do we still say after 3 loops or sunset? Is that still the official?
Well, that might be it.
The official thing on the website. So that can be a little confusing for people.
Yeah.
I think if it's going to be dark on your loop, on your 3rd loop, even if it's still light, you can start with a pacer.
Yeah.
We're not heavily policing it, but for those front runners, you got to wait till your 3rd.
Yeah.
So mile 60.
Most people will start a pacer
40 miles.
40 miles. Yeah.
Okay, let's see who else we got in here. We've got Jurgen Queck. Do you think Jim will win this year at UTMB? I don't know. I mean, he definitely could, but I think those other guys that are up at the front right now, you've got Killian, you've got Zach, you've got Tim, you've got Xavier. I think any of them could win.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would put anyone ahead of anyone else, honestly. They're all so strong. They're so experienced. They've all been out here before to the race. They've finished this race. It's really exciting to see, I think. It's going to be fun to watch it play out. So I don't know. I don't know that I would say Jim's going to win. I'm personally rooting. I'm rooting for Tim Tollefson. That's me.
Cool.
And also Killian.
And
Masked ZH. Hey, ultra runner YouTuber, had a good time. Dan Whitehead, 75th in TDS, and Harry Jones 8th. Oh, nice. Yeah, just a shout out to some other YouTubers. They have some pretty cool YouTube channels, both of them, and it's cool to see. Cool to see if they have recap videos or whatnot. So, just again, if you guys have more questions for us, we're running thin on Instagram over here for questions. So please feel free to ask us anything. Yeah. We're here to answer any of your questions.
Over here on Facebook, I have Yoka Garcia Christopher. All the races I have to do are landing on the first weekend of October. How does one choose?
Well, I mean, you have to do Flagstaff Sky Peaks. I mean,
it's a must.
I don't know what other races are landing on the first weekend in October, but that's the only one that I know of that really matters.
Good answer. Benjamin Lee, dude, why aren't you watching UTMB? We actually are. It's over.
Well, it's on my screensaver, but we would definitely have been watching it. We've been glued to it all day, pretty much.
Joe Bird says, I just love you guys. RC Swank, unless I missed it, I didn't see any UTMB points listed. Oops, Seymour. For the upcoming Aravaipa races.
They all have UTMB points.
Yeah.
So I don't know where you're looking, but if you go to the UTMB site, it should all be on there. Pretty much anything that's an ultra or longer, I think. Mm-hmm. Even do the marathons sometimes get them.
Actually, like Silverton Alpine Marathon gets points as well. And if you go to like our individual races, it's usually also listed on the website.
Yeah,
like how many points are for each one.
We have the organizational membership with ITRA, so every single race we organize, you'll get points. Even Flagstaff Sky Peaks, you get points.
How do I see more? I don't understand it. See?
What the?
I don't know.
Okay, we're having a problem pulling up our comments.
But Paul McAkron? Question for Jamel. Have you ever run with Killian? And if so, what's that like?
I'm trying to think if I don't think I've ever. I mean, I've run alongside him in a couple races filming. Like I filmed him at Hard Rock one time. Mm-hmm. He's been in Hard Rock when I've run it, but I haven't run with him. So yeah, but I'm sure it would be fun. He's a fun guy. Luke 833. That's our friend. Luke Sanchez. He says yes because Tim's from Mammoth.
Right on.
That's going to serve him well with the rainy weather that they got forecast.
Nice.
It's going to be pretty solid, I think.
Wednesday pre-course party. Any details? This is for Aravaipa group run from Steve Kramer for Javelina 100.
We always do group run out of the staging area for Javelina 100. Mm-hmm. So come on out and check it out. We're going to do, we don't have any details on that right now, but expect to come on out and have a good time. Probably we've done a potluck in the past. We'll kind of see what we end up with this year. I think last year we didn't get to put a lot of time into it because we were just so overwhelmed, but it sounds like we're a little bit more on top of things this year. So
we did a lot of like new things last year.
Exactly.
Yep.
So now we're kind of back into the maintenance mode and upping the quality everywhere else. So I think actually all week long I'd like to get some activities going. I haven't talked to you about all these ideas.
Oh, okay.
But I think we're going to hopefully have a Huss beer tapping of the Hoppy Javelina IPA.
That's actually going to be the Wednesday before. So
okay,
run Wednesday. I think it's the 17th possibly.
Did we make sure that that's at Huss?
That's at Huss.
We did. Did we make sure on our group run cards that we're actually going there?
I don't know.
Okay. We should probably look at that before we print those cards. Cool.
Good call.
Yeah, because if we went to like Santan Brewing on that Wednesday, that wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I would also like to see maybe some kind of an event at the Churchill I was thinking Thursday, where we had like an athlete meet and greet, some pizza. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Cool.
I'd like to see stuff happening all week long. So a group run Wednesday fits in nicely.
Awesome. Roger Martin wants to know, what are you guys racing next? What are you racing next? Jamil?
I don't know if I would call it racing, but I am gonna run the Tahoe 200 / walk it. So, I wasn't gonna do it. I was gonna do it, then I wasn't gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I have my plane flight, so I guess I'm in for it. And I'm gonna do it. It's next.
You're gonna do it.
It's next Friday.
Yes, it is.
1 week from now, I'll be walking through the woods like Killian. What about you?
I have a 50K up in New Mexico in November. So it's like a secret thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another one over there.
Yep. Hugo Calderon is asking, are you guys going to be going to Flagstaff for the Grand Canyon Stagecoach Line 100?
I might be. I know that Aravaipa is sponsoring one of the aid stations.
Yep.
So
I'll be up there.
That's a race put on by Ian Torrance and the Arizona Trail Association. You're going to be at the...
I'm going to be at the aid station.
I'm hoping to. I'm hoping to get the day off from the restaurant and be able to go.
Yeah.
And check it out.
Cool.
Maybe even get a run on the Sky Peaks course.
Kevin Coleman asks, have you ever had knee pains that you have just run through?
I've had, like runner's knee before.
Yeah.
And sometimes it depends. Like, is it actually your knee, like your kneecap, or is it, sometimes it can be an IT band on the outside.
IT bands, yeah.
I've run through IT band before.
Yep.
It's not easy, but sometimes it is the only way.
Yeah.
But you got to just, I don't know, roll that thing out. There's different methodologies for it, but
Definitely.
I would say, listen to your body and don't just run through pain for the sake of pain. Understand what's going on. Sometimes you can run through injuries, and I've done it a lot of times, but sometimes you shouldn't.
Definitely.
So it just kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I can't just give a blanket recommendation. Mass ZH, I listened to your latest podcast about female participation. Why do you think there are so small numbers in the UTMB? 13% in UTMB. 13% of UTMB is women, apparently. Mm-hmm. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Why? I think just in general, it's what we talked about in that show is like just,
that's kind of
more
where we are
men.
Yeah.
For 100-mile distances, it's just there's a lot more men participating still. The women are still kind of catching up in distance. It's happening. It's equalizing. There's more women running half marathons than men. There's now becoming much more equal numbers at the 50K distance. And I wouldn't be surprised if women surpass men soon. Mm-hmm. And it'll just take time for them to, I think, build up and get to the 100-mile distance, but it will happen.
It's just now that women are, kind of taking over in mass with, the marathon distance. So we're slowly seeing more and more women kind of creeping up in distance. It's just one of those things, I think, where, more men probably apply for UTMB than women, and that's just kind of where it's at. So those numbers are pretty standard for any 100 mile.
It'd be interesting to see if there's higher percentage of women in the TDS, CCC, OCC.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
If it was higher percentage of women. Yeah. Just from what we've seen in our trends. Sujo 402, who do you think will win out of the men's group? I'm rooting for Tim Tollefson. I said that. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I don't know if I'm rooting for anyone. I think
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think it's all of them. I'd be happy with any of them.
It's a solid race.
They're all great guys.
It's exciting to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Jurgens Quack. Thanks, guys, for answering my question. Jam, besides I really like the stuff you made, what are your next plans for running? Or do you plan to make more films about running? Kind of just answered that, doing the Tahoe. I have so many films that are backlogged right now that, it's hard to film new stuff, but I am filming here and there. Luke 833, you guys should do a race down in the Sierras. If not, I will come down for a lot of Aravaipa races. Might be at Black Canyon.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Come on down, Luke.
Totally.
We're slowly branching out here and there. Put on a Utah race, and we still have plenty of ideas here in Arizona for new events. So stay tuned.
Falana White asks 50 mile versus 50K, one last big long run before the Rio de Lago 100. One of the last long runs before Rio de Lago.
It just depends how you're feeling. If you're feeling fresh and like you want and need that long run, I think, how close are we to Rio right now? If it's like 3 weeks or more away, I think you could get away with doing a 50 miler. If you're less than 3 weeks away, I wouldn't. It's just me.
Cool. Ryan Roanhorse asks, any idea how the weather will be in Flagstaff during the Flagstaff?
It was beautiful yesterday. It can really be a mix. Usually, it is fall.
Yeah.
One year we had a snowstorm the day after the race, so it can get weather and it can be cold. So it could snow the day before. It could snow during the race, or it could just be absolutely beautiful, or even a little hot. So it could be any of those.
Cool. Thanks for the response. Regarding the UTMB points, I didn't see them when I looked at the calendar page.
I think in the past it like listed all these big logos on the side. We wanted to clean up our website a little bit. It was just a little bit too much, and I think a lot of people don't run a race for the UTMB points. So, but thank you for asking. We might need to put something back on the page to show that we still offer that.
Cool. Paul wants to know, are you able to film any of that the Tahoe 200?
Oh, I haven't made up my mind on that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I might just want to focus on the race itself. I think at most I would throw a GoPro in my pack and just record a couple things here and there, but I'm not planning necessarily to make a big race video.
Joe Bird, I feel like it's harder for women to travel with kids and families, etc. And then Frederick follows up, women in ultras. UTMB demands that many qualifying races 15 points and at least 3 races. So 2 races. See, and I can't pull this up.
We're having problems pulling up our
like the full comment.
Facebook. You need to work on this. It's not good.
Yeah, Facebook.
It's this comment thing. Nope.
I don't want to write a comment.
Sujo402, what advice can you give me as I train for my first 100 with around 40,000 feet of gain and loss? Which 100 is that? I'm curious. I mean, at the end of the day, I think specificity at some point is important. Consistency in building a base is important. If you have a race with 40,000 feet of climb, you should be doing a lot of climbing. At some point, probably even training in vertical feet climbed and not miles, because that's more relevant to the race that you're doing. And I would say you don't need to do 40,000 in 1 week, but if you can do a week of 25 to 30,000 feet of climb, getting ready for a 40K race, that would be good. 40K of gain.
Cool. Falana White wants to know 50 mile versus 50K at the Sky Race.
Yeah. Oh.
What would you say?
Let me see if I can find out when Rio de Lago is. I mean, the 50 mile is awesome.
Yeah, the 50 mile is going to be amazing. But the 50K is also great because it runs so much of the AZT. And you're going to get some good climb with both, for sure.
Oh. November 3rd? It's a
50 mile.
4 weeks out. I would say you could do the 50 mile.
50 mile.
And it's going to be a nice runnable course, so it shouldn't beat you up too bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Bill Gray said, I couldn't find the volunteer sign up for the upcoming Sky Race. Stay tuned, Bill. Thank you for your interest in possibly volunteering. If you guys are interested, I hope to actually get the volunteer sign up this weekend, probably either today or tomorrow. So yeah, I'm working on that. Just have to finalize like sweeps and things. Rory Moynihan says, Jubilee, have you been writing any new songs or raps? I'm working on something. I don't know yet. Yeah. Possibly a follow-up to Javelina? I don't know.
So we got a follow-up. Cujo says, the Hitchcock experience. Instantly makes me a little skeptical. The Hitchcock experience has 40K of elevation gain and loss.
Ooh.
Maybe you mean total gain and loss, not just climbing combined.
Okay.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, so I would say you don't need to go crazy with the vertical. 20 is still a lot. So, yeah, I would say it looks like it has a lot of maybe short climbs up and down. Yeah.
Cool. I'm out.
That's it? Yeah, that could be. Yeah, 40K of climb, that would be like Ronda Del Sim style, which is like insanity. So, cool. That's all we have over here. So if you guys have any last ones, we'll get to those. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in this week.
Yeah.
Please be sure to leave some comments. I don't know if we have any comments from last week's one, but well, I was with Noah last time.
Yes, you were.
We were actually going to have you and Noah this week, but it didn't work out. But this worked out because we were able to open Flagstaff this week. So
yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Definitely check out Flagstaff Sky Peaks, guys.
Yeah, check it out.
Really, really excited about it. We worked, I'm excited.
And if not this year, put it on the list for the future. It's going to be around, and I think we're finally kind of settling into what like the long-term vision for this event is, which feels really good. So thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our channels, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of Trail Talk.
Awesome.